Interesting chimpanzee facts.
Chimpanzees are great apes and members of the family Hominidae, which also includes humans. Found across Western and Central Africa, chimps are our closest relatives in the animal kingdom. Let's find out some interesting facts about them.
We share about 98% of our DNA with them. Chimps are also endangered with a decreasing population. Like us, chimps laugh together, form social groups, and use toys to achieve goals. Chimps live for about 50 years in the wild and up to 60 years in captivity. Offspring have strong bonds with their mothers and maintain close relationships throughout their lives. While we have been studying them for decades, we are constantly learning new things, from having stable personality traits to keeping the nest extra clean. Chimpanzees weigh 40 to 70 kilograms, 88 to 154 pounds for males, and 27 and 50 kilograms, 60 to 110 pounds for females, and standing 150 centimeters, 4 feet 11 inches. Male chimpanzees proclaim their dominance with spectacular judging displays, during which they slap their hands, stand with their feet, drag branches as they run, or hurl rocks. In doing so, they make themselves look as big and dangerous as they possibly can, and indeed may eventually intimidate a higher-ranking individual without having to fight. Friendly physical contact is crucial in maintaining good relationships among chimpanzees. For this reason, social grooming is one of the most important social behaviors, serving to sustain and improve friendships within the community and to calm nervous or tense individuals. When young chimpanzees play, they emit breathy laughter, and soft grunts uttered by foraging or resting chimpanzees probably serve to maintain communication within the group. A loud, long, raw call is made when a chimpanzee comes across something unusual or dangerous. Chimps live in dangerous spaces, but fortunately they have each other's backs. These great apes are known for warning their friends, but in a 2014 study, scientists discovered that chimps will adjust their warnings based on the information they perceive that the other chimps have about the threat. Chimps will make alarming vocalizations and gaze at a threat, and then back at their group until other chimps take notice. If they believe another chimp is unaware, their vocalizations and gestures become more urgent. The study also found that chimps will give more warnings about threats to chimps who are relatives or friends. They emulate desirable behavior. Social learning is common in chimps. They not only learn to make toys from one another but also have been observed picking up fashion tips. In 2010, a Zambian chimpanzee named Juliet stuck a stalk of rats in her ear for reasons that have not been determined. The rest of her group followed suit. A group of researchers observed the behavior but did not find this to be a repetitive action, and couldn't find the purpose of the ear accessory beyond that it must have been looked nice to the other chimps. They will eat just about anything. For a long time, chimps were assumed to be herbivores, but it turns out that they are omnivores that eat both meat and plants. Goodall first observed the creatures eating something other than plants when she saw them extract termites using sticks. Chimps also eat the meat of monkeys, and they strongly prefer the red colobus monkeys. In areas where both are present, there are significant declines in the red colobus monkey population. While they eat a wide variety of fruits, vegetables, roots, and seeds, they avoid things they find distasteful, including food with smells associated with biological contaminants. They have stable personality types. In 1973, a group of researchers described the personalities of 24 chimps in Gom National Park using Emotions Profile Index (EPI). The index assigns scores based on 8 major personalities: justful, distrustful, controlled, discontrolled, aggressive, timid, repressed, and gregarious. Generally, females demonstrated more trusting natures, while males were more gregarious. Albinos existed, however, including one female chimp named Passion, who rated very high as distrustful, aggressive, and depressed. Passion and her daughter were also identified as chimps that killed 4 infants belonging to another female. Researchers returned to the park in 2010 to gauge the personalities of 128 chimps using 24 different metrics. They found that personalities remained stable among chimps regardless of whether they had been in the wild or held in captivity. They may have rituals. Camera footage of 4 groups of chimpanzees in West Africa revealed animals that would throw stones at or into certain trees and then leave the rocks there so they could repeat the process. The practice did not appear to have anything to do with foraging or tool use. The author suggests that the activity may be ritualistic in nature, while acknowledging that their very definition of ritual in this case is contested. The majority of the participants were male, while the throwing activity included a pant-hoot vocalization. The significance of the practice itself remains unclear, but it opens up another avenue for understanding chimpanzees. Chimps keep their nests clean. Did you know that chimpanzee nests are cleaner than our beds? According to a study conducted in Tanzania, chimps' nests are less likely to harbor bacteria, fecal, skins, or oral as compared to human beds. The reason they build a new nest nightly, which prevents bacteria from accumulating. Researchers also noted that they only discovered 4 individual parasites among a total of 41 nests analyzed. So chimps are sleeping peacefully in a nearly bug-free, bacteria-free nest. While chimpanzees aren't big on swimming, they do enjoy an occasional dip. You rarely see a chimp paddling about in the water as they don't like to swim. Their low body fat ratio causes them to sink, and their top-heavy body composition makes it difficult for them to keep their heads above the water. However, some chimpanzees do enjoy a good splash around in shallow water. Chimpanzees grieve. Chimps have been observed grieving over friends and family members. They visit the body both individually and in groups, gently touching, sniffing, and grooming the deceased. The complexity of their intellect is matched by their rich and complex emotional repertoire. They feel and they express those feelings. They use feelings as yet another way to navigate through their lives and relationships. Their feelings range from anger to exhilaration, from humor to despondence, and every other emotion we know. Chimpanzees are known for possessing great amount of muscle strength, especially in their arms. However, compared to humans, the amount of strength reported in media and popular science is greatly exaggerated, with numbers of 4 to 8 times the muscle strength of a human. The main predator or natural enemy of the chimpanzee is leopard. However, a full-grown chimp is a very powerful animal, so leopards prefer to attack, kill, and eat young or baby chimpanzees. Usually, young chimpanzees stay very close to adult chimpanzees, however, so it is hard for a leopard to catch one. Do chimpanzees live in groups? Chimpanzees live in fission-fusion societies, meaning that the size and composition of their social groups changes over time. They spend the majority of their time in small temporary groups of just a few individuals known as party, but also associate with wider group known as community. Although they are very seldom seen together at one place within these multi-male, multi-female communities, all members know each other individually and they defend a common home range together. Communities may consist of up to 150 individuals but have strict hierarchies with normally just one dominant alpha male. Can chimps walk on 2 legs? Chimpanzees get around by climbing and swinging through trees and by walking on 4s, knuckle walking, but they can also walk upright on 2 feet if they want to. Suicide by parasite. Toxoplasma gondii is a microscopic single-celled cat parasite that also infects a range of other mammals and birds as intermediate hosts, forming cysts in their brains and other organs. These hosts must be eaten by a feline if the parasite is to complete its life cycle, and research in Gabon has shown that infected chimps develop an attraction to the smell of leopard urine. It's possible that this morbid attraction to the chimp's only natural predator is a side effect of having cysts in the brain, but the latest research suggests it's caused by the parasite itself. This is because the same effect isn't observed with the urine of lions or tigers, neither of which prey on chimps. That would mean the parasite is directly manipulating its chimpanzee host into increasing its chances of being killed by a leopard, enabling the parasite to complete its own life cycle. Can chimpanzees use tools? Chimpanzees are one of the few animals that are known to use tools. This includes the use of sticks to retrieve termites from their mouths, stones to open up appetizing nut contents, and leaf sponges to soak up drinking water. Are chimps endangered? Chimpanzees are classed as endangered on the IUCN Red List. Numbers are decreasing because of habitat loss and fragmentation, killing of bushmeat, and the infant pet trade and disease. They also frequently caught in snare traps that are placed by poachers to trap other forest animals.
This can lead to limb amputations, infections, and eventually death.
So the more interesting facts about chimpanzees are over. My channel will continue to upload interesting videos about animals, so don't forget to subscribe if you love this topic. Goodbye!